Hello and welcome to a book review from Warhammer 40k bookreviews.com. Today I'm here to talk about the Horus Heresy book Vulkan Lives by Nick Kimes. Now the Horus Heresy books take place 10,000 years before the main 40k books, and they tell the story about how War Master Horus, who's one of the Emperor's 18 Primarchs that originally led the Space Marine legions, how he got corrupted by chaos and started a galaxy-spanning rebellion. In Vulkan Lives, we follow the Primarch Vulkan, who is leader of the Salamander Space Marine Legion. And as we meet Vulkan in the novel, he is captured by the Primarch Konrad Curze of the Night Lords. Now, Curze is the sort of fellow that enjoys nothing more than cutting up innocent people in their sleep, playing with their slimy innards, and anointing his armor in their blood. So Vulkan is in for a pretty bad time all around. Basically, Vulkan is subjected to one overly complex form of torture after the next, to the point where you start to think that the author accidentally switched around his Warhammer 40k script for a pitch for the next Saw movie or something. But besides this storyline of hot pokers being strategically applied to a son of the Emperor, Vulkan Lives has another main story that follows a group of space marines that survived the drop site massacre on Istvaan V, which incidentally is the same battle where Vulkan got captured by Curze. Now, this group consists of marines from several different legions, but mainly Vulkan salamanders. Um, and we follow this group of survivors that escaped this cataclysmic battle between a whole bunch of different Space Marine legions, and they have now basically sworn to get revenge in any way that they can. They come to the planet Treos and find some traitor marines from the Wordbearer Legion, which they hope to be able to kill, and they want to take out the leader of these word bearers, who is a dark apostle. But before they get a chance to attack and kill this dark apostle, they find out that the word bearers seem to be hunting down some human on the planet. Uh, and they therefore decide to try to find out why is it that the word bearer seems so interested in this human, and how can they use it to hurt them. Now, I have to say that the storylines in Vulkan Lives are a little flat by themselves. There's a lot of pages used for very little forward momentum in the action, and in general, I was simply not very captured by the plot, which never really settles for if it should be a personal drama or a battle story with clashes between loyalist and traitor marines. But my really huge problem with Vulkan Lives is that the characters are just really badly written, I think. The worst offender is Konrad Curze, who apparently is Primarch of the Emo Lords. He is so comically evil and brooding that he comes off as an angsty teenager that's going through his the world is black, love is black, life is black, black is black face. Uh, and I understand that Kurtz in the 40k lore is supposed to be a warped and corrupted Primarch, but this one-dimensional portrayal is just way over the top. And sadly, instead of making him fear-inducing, it makes him unintentionally comical for most of this book. And in much the same way, I feel that Vulcan comes off as a very uninspired good guy with no real personality. We get some background of Vulcan's early life and also some backstory about how his relationship with Kurze developed through the Crusades when they were still fighting on the same side. But it doesn't really result in a character that feels alive or with any sort of distinct motives or desires. Um, Vulcan is a stand-up guy that does the right thing. That's about what I learned about him from reading this book. Um, and frankly, that makes reading about Vulcan pretty bland, and that's really disappointing considering you're reading about a Primarch, which I feel should be more complex and filled with desires, passions, fears, but you don't really get that here. I wish I could say that I enjoyed Vulkan Lives, but yeah, I don't know. Generally, I enjoy Space Marine books and the Horus Heresy series, and I always look forward to reading about Primax, but honestly, I was left completely cold by this book. Just from the unengaging stories to the poorly written characters, there's not much fun to be had. There are a few cool passages that describe the horrors of the dropside massacre battle on Istvaan V, and they're pretty awesome, reading about entire legions facing off against each other and the massive scale of destruction involved. But those were pretty much the only parts of the book that I thought were actually decent. Therefore, I can only recommend Vulkan Lives to absolute die-hard Horus Heresy fans that have to read every single book in the series, or if you absolutely must know everything possible about the Salamander Space Marine Legion, then I guess this is an okay book for you to read. Otherwise, give this book a pass, honestly. I give Vulkan Lives 1 out of 5 chainswords.